Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Eye Opener Society. It's so great to be here with everybody, and we just want to thank everybody for tuning in and listening. This month, August, it's going to be a little bit different because we are so limited on time. So, Hannah and I are going to be doing some shorter episodes to cram them in, and we are actually recording this near the end of July on the 23rd. So basically, anything that we speak about is going to be in reference to that. But at the end of August, Hannah goes on vacation, and we always had logistic problems when it comes to babysitting. So that's why we're going to be doing shorter episodes, and we're going to change the format just a little bit just to reflect shorter conversation style episodes with no real topic in mind. Not to say that we're not going to be talking about important things or, you know, things of substance, but we're just changing it up just to get these episodes out to you. So we got a full schedule for the month of August. So, Hannah, you're trying out the new microphones too.
Yes. Hello, everybody. It is good to be back in the studio. But yeah, August, it's going to be a busy month. We got my birthday. It's Leo season, baby. And then I have vacation at the end of the month. It's been over, I think, oh my God, 5 years since I've been on like a long vacation. So I'm very excited.
That's great. Yeah, I can't even remember the last vacation I had, but that's quite all right. I'll hold down the fort. We are going to try and bring Brittany in here too as well, for a couple of episodes if she's available as well. So be looking out for that. But we're going to try, like I said, just cramming these episodes in. So we're just going to do, Hannah and I are just going to sit here and talk just basically like we normally do when she and I are alone, and we just philosophize about things. And that's basically what we're going to bring to you here. I know you listened to our last episode, the Aubrey Wyatt episode, and I hope everybody took something away from that and really, kind of let that sink in a little bit. And that's why we had said during that episode that we're going to change things up for, more positivity, self-help and things of that nature, because we just feel we owe that to people, I think, and people owe it to themselves. I think we need to look at ourselves and think, hey, we're beautiful people. We need to do better. We need to do good. And Hannah and I are going to try and get that out on some more of our episodes.
Yeah. And shout out to Heather Wyatt. She got her social media back reinstated. So I am so happy for her. And I hope that she can continue to grieve the way that she wants and, use Aubrey's name to spread awareness. Because I think that's so important. And I'm so glad that her mother has the capability of doing that again.
Yeah, so do I. Like I said, we didn't want to get too deep into that. And we may, especially if we do our collaboration episode with Christelle from Twisted Tales. But for right now, like I said, we don't want to sit here. We don't want to speculate or anything like that. But it's just good news. I'm glad that she's able to get her daughter's name out there again, get on social media, regardless of what anybody thinks about it. I just think it's good for her.
Yeah.
I mean, when you're talking about a grieving mother, I mean, if this is what's going to kind of get your mind off of it or, help you to deal with the situation, hey, I don't see why not. I think that's good for her. And so that's why we want to promote more positivity on this.
Yeah.
Because, and listen, if we look at things right now, the world is collapsing.
Oh my God, for real.
And it's good to sit here as a group, as a society, and just kind of say, hey, maybe things are not so bad, or maybe we can do something about it to change things. Just look at this here nonsense in the political arena with the assassination attempt.
Yeah.
We don't talk about politics, but this is really where it's going.
Yeah, like it's real life. And people just are out there with like no remorse or care for other people's lives. And it's sad.
It is. And it's only because you don't like a political opponent, basically, from something that you're, whether you're a Republican, a Democrat. The identity politics is getting so bad to the point now we're looking to wish death upon each other and wish death upon somebody just for a political affiliation, when when it boils down to it, they're just politicians. Do we really need to get this crazy over this? Do we really need to get down to this dirty, filthy identity politics where we hate each other because of who we wish to vote for or who we want for president? I think that's disgusting. It's gotten
Yeah.
to the point now we need to take a step back. Remember, they're just politicians. No
Mhm.
matter what party is up there, they're never going to be 100% perfect. And on the conspiracy side of things, I really think there's so much wrong with the big picture. I don't want to get too much into it. Like I said, these are going to be shorter episodes, but
Yeah.
there's a lot of absolute insanity that's going on. I can't swallow anything that the mainstream media is giving us.
Mhm.
But at the same time, it's projecting us again. The way I see people acting from both sides. That's why I've made it a point just to stay away from it all.
Yeah. I just think with like the whole thing with politics, like it's a really big thing for me is that like we can disagree and still be friends. You know what I mean? It's one of those things where it's like you can like a different party and I can like a different party and that's the end of it, you know? I'm not about debating with you because no matter what, you're firm on your opinion and I'm firm on mine and my beliefs and your beliefs, and that's okay. We can still be friends. And that's the end of it. I don't entertain that
Yeah.
BS. You know, it's just one of those things for me. I just don't do it.
Yeah, and I'm the same way, but I just feel though, regardless of what people think, I really think that the way people are acting now, it's not even so much, being friends. This is just like real life. If you go outside, if you just mention something about a politician, right away, it's so bad that somebody's going to want to attack you or wish death on you or wish harm on you just because you don't agree to the side that they're on. And this is for both sides now. I really think so. So we need to stay away. We need to be more positive, stay away from the stupid politics and move on and think of bigger and better things.
Yeah. And, with everything, like, to also bring up a point I've been seeing a lot lately, and I mean, it's nothing new, but, it's just sad to me that these mainstream news, everything, they don't talk about, yeah, politics are important, whatever, but they don't talk about the important things that matter. You know what I mean? It's not until it blows up on some type of social media that it's talked about on the news.
Mm-hmm.
Like I want to see more stories about, people opening up nonprofits and stuff like that. Like that's the type of stuff that I want to see. We don't need to show the world the constant ugly that's going on right now. That's why I don't bother to watch the news anymore because it's just, I don't want to hear about it. I want to hear about the small things that small towns that we've never even heard of do.
Yeah, like more local based news, stuff like that. Because, yeah, you're right. We focus too much on the negative in the news. And I can't myself recall the very last time that I actually sat and listened to a news broadcast or something for that one reason. Because there is nothing positive with it. So I think that's about all I really want to give to politics. It's out of hand and it's just wrong. So I want us to focus on people. And like you said, individual achievements, that should be in the news more frequently, maybe local news. And that's why maybe you got to focus more on local things, your local neighborhoods and, wanting your neighborhood to be better. I was, our neighborhood too, it's under, I don't want to say total improvement, but they're actually taking older abandoned buildings and making them into livable, usable housing, as well as for businesses too, as well. And this is a change that takes place over time where things get better from a neighborhood that's probably not that great and slowly becoming something better. It's pride. It's pride in where you live, regardless if you like it. But if you sit there and follow all the stereotypes, oh, this is a horrible neighborhood, you're only going to make it worse.
Yeah.
You need to make it better. That's what we need to do. And by doing things like this, by businesses stepping up, and we need local governments to support that more. instead of these local governments that are constantly taxing businesses and putting them through all the red tape and the fines and all. We need to show a little bit of leniency in order for things to thrive, in order for a neighborhood to get better. And I think we're seeing that lately in our neighborhood too. And I kind of like that. It makes it.
Yeah. I'm really excited. It's like so exciting. And every time I pass it, it's like I get like giddy. We have this it was like, I think it might have been I don't know if it was an old furniture company or what that building was at that time. But they took it and they turned them into these like apartments, studio type apartments. I think they have some other ones, well, whatever. And then also, the one is coming up with like a social room where there's going to have like different vendors and different foods and everything like that. And it's just so exciting to see. Like, it gets me so happy to see, not, trees just getting cut down for it to come up. It's just, reuse, recycle.
Yeah. And that's what I like. I never liked the idea of having so many abandoned buildings. And then every time somebody wants to start another business or so, they're starting from scratch, or they're building more warehouses and all. Why can't we just take the abandoned stuff, make it easier to transfer that over to a new owner, give them some sort of tax breaks to get them back up to code, and then reuse them? Why leave them abandoned and then keep building up around them?
Yeah.
We're always backwards in our thoughts.
It makes me like really sad seeing something that had like so much potential at one point just to like sit. And then you see these like new things all around and you're just like, well, what was wrong with that? Like, I am that type of person who has like a really strong vision. So if I see like a house that's run down or like a business, like today, for example, I passed this like one building that I think a contractor just rents out for like just a quick office. So, they're not there. And I'm like, dang, I would like so open up this cute, like vintage candy ice cream store, like parlor. Like, I just see so much vision in so many different places. And it's like sad that, I don't have the capability of doing what I would want to those buildings. But it's just something that I'm always like, I just open my eye and I just go,
Mm-hmm. And you're right. It is. It's nice to have that vision, and it's great when it actually gets put on paper and actually gets done. Whether it's your vision or somebody else's vision, it's just nice to see things taking shape for a change instead of going the opposite way, where the buildings become abandoned because nobody's buying them. And I think too, especially when it comes to businesses, it's getting so difficult with the way the world is right now with inflation and everything costs so much. Businesses need to charge more.
And it's sad because like they don't want to do that. Like, I mean, big businesses, sure, they definitely want to do it. But like these small businesses, it's just like they have no choice. And as a community, it's really, I'm not gonna lie, it's sometimes it is really hard to understand. You want to order from your local mom and pop shop pizza and your bill's like $40 when a couple years ago it was like 20 some dollars. It is a hard adjustment. But I think as like a consumer and a member of a community, whenever I can, I'm going to be sure to do that because you got to think of them as people, not as business owners.
Yeah, right. They're not doing it to harm you. It's just the fact that they have to at times. They gotta pay bills. They gotta keep that business open. And again, we need to blame the politicians where it's really coming from, and the way this economy fails. We spend so much more on war efforts and building weapons, and we weaponize everything. This is where the problems come into play. We will throw so much money at that for useless negativity instead of just putting it into more local things where we can build better businesses, smaller businesses, instead of these mainstream big box stores all the time. It's nice to go back to that older way of doing things and dealing with a smaller business with much more customer focus. But it's getting harder and harder for them to stay in business, so we see them less and less. And that's why I like walking around a neighborhood that's showing revitalization.
Yes.
And again, seeing that in our own neighborhood, it's great, small step, and we hope that they thrive. And that's the other thing too. You hope that there's enough need for these here businesses, and people don't just go in the first 6 months, and then it just starts saying, okay, we did it, and nobody else goes. So we as people, we need to actually go out there and look and actually participate in these, neighborhood events, neighborhood communities, and see what's going on, see where you can help too. And I think even you and I are lazy in that way. We should maybe be doing more with our own neighborhood too, get a little bit more involved in it. We got a podcast, we got a voice, we could get people on a podcast and help, whether it be a business or, even the local community, just try and make things a little bit better, because that's what we're really focusing on, is getting better as humans. And we need to start really small and with the very simple things.
Definitely, for sure. I know another thing I was like that popped in my head is like I love little towns like ours where they have like these like just cute pop-up events all the time. Like, coming up we have our street fair where they actually like shut down a lot of our main roads, and you see the community come together, and of course you have outside people from our communities like from our community coming in to enjoy it as well. But it's so nice to see just the different businesses just booming from all the support, and small businesses that we don't even know about that people have in our neighborhood. Like, there's like this lady who I forget it what it's called, but she makes her own candles. And so she'll have a tent, and, you have people who make their own jewelry, and just so many cool things that, it makes me appreciate, what the community does. And it's, I don't know, it just makes me feel some type of personal way, because, you go up to these stands of these people, and if you're like someone new like us, you read their energy, and you can just feel how passionate they are about their work, and how it's not necessarily about like, the money or selling their products for them. It's actually just like you feel that excited energy when someone is admiring what took them so long to create.
Yep. And hopefully we'll get out more and do more of that, whether it be local or whether it be outside at different events. I still, especially come fall, I would like, even for us as a podcast, to get out there again and start hitting these vendor events or these fairs or something, someplace where we go, at least hand out our business cards, find other businesses and, have them on the podcast like we've done in the past and all.
Create a safe space for people, like that's all we want to do when it comes to this podcast is, just we're regular people. We always say that, but, we are always a safe space here, and it'd be nice to like go out, like you said, to shows or, events and have conversation with people.
Yeah. And the art of conversation's pretty much going away because of social media and the phones, and people are constantly on them, constantly texting. And we lost so much in conversation because of that. We don't know how to sit down as human beings and just talk. That's why we're so angry all the time at each other, because, whether it be from politics and, well, I hate you because of you like this person, or I hate you. That's what it's become. It hasn't become a conversation anymore where we're saying, well, I feel this way because of this, this, and this. And then how do you feel? And you get that feedback and helps you understand. And we don't have that anymore.
I'm a really bad feedback receiver. I will be 100% honest. 9 times out of the 10, I'm crying. But I think it's just because I feel so personally. So when like someone gives me feedback, I take it to heart because, I strive to be the best that I can be. But with that, I think, like you said, like it's getting harder to kind of like face to face. I've actually been working on, expressing my feelings and like getting things off of my chest in face to face versus like on the phone, because I think it's just so much easier. It's convenient to twiddle your thumbs. But I've actually, for the past like month now, just trying to say the things that I want to say and like get off my chest in person. And I've noticed that sometimes it's a lot easier to like really sit there like on the text, because you can just delete things and then add things. But in person, it's so raw. And I think people forget that. Like it is so raw. You show the emotion on your face. It's not just like, you could read a text and it can come off angry or sad. But in person, you can literally if you're a person, I guess, like us, you can feel or see inside that person's emotions and their soul and just know what they're feeling. So it's just something that I've been working on as a person, to be honest.
Well, that's good. And I'm proud of you for that, because in all due honesty, we are only looking at a screen and words on a screen, and it completely eliminates the human factor to it. So that's why, yes, get things off your chest or to express your feelings. You need to do it in person and become personal, because that's what makes us human again.
Mm-hmm.
We're no longer human when we're on that phone and texting. Again, it's just words on a screen, and we know that they don't have emotion, and we know that those words on the screen don't feel anything, because we're not dealing with a human anymore.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, we need to sit down and have better conversations. We need to have conversations one-on-one again, or even in group. We've lost so much of that over the last 20, 30 years. It doesn't happen anymore. It's always behind a screen. It's always on a phone. And even now with podcasting, we lose so much, and it's time to take it back. I really do think we need to take it back.
That's why I think this month we were really like kind of just changing up, and like, we're just sitting and having a conversation. We're not looking at the camera. We're looking at each other when we're speaking. And I think, that's the direction we're kind of going right now, because we're trying to shoot off that message that, yeah, sure, social media and, your phone is okay, but just to getting back to the roots and having general just conversations. It doesn't have to always be a serious conversation. The other night, me and him sat out on the deck for a couple hours late at night, and we were bonding and laughing our asses off, talking about all the different cigarette brands that were, from the 1900s to now. And it's just something like, it was such a pointless conversation, but it's a conversation that you and I will remember for the rest of our lives, because it was like a moment where we weren't thinking about politics. We weren't thinking about our phones. We were just thinking about each other and laughing. And I love moments like that.
And I said it too. I say it's been a while since we were able to do that, sit on a weekend and sit out there on our patio and just do something like that. And like I said, I sometimes wish moments like that would last forever, because at least I know in my mind that that memory will last forever. It's small little things like that that I enjoy so much. And all it involves is conversation. Just even pointless, meaningless conversation meant so much to you and I.
Yeah.
I'm still looking forward to the next time when we can do that. We get to sit here and have our conversations on the podcast, but we need to have a little bit more focus. We can't sit here and name all the cigarette brands in the 1900s.
I bet y'all like that, though. It was hilarious.
Probably would, yeah.
I was reading off of the internet, I'm not going to lie, but oh gosh, it was just funny things. But it's just something that was so pointless, but so memorable.
Yeah, for sure. And I tell you that this is why I think we continue with the podcast, because really we're even feeling that energy now.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's a little bit more structured, but just the fact that we could sit here and talk.
Uncensored.
Yeah, exactly. Well, not even, because we don't have to censor ourselves, but it's just, we need to get back to that. We do.
Yeah.
If you start small, start with family, start with friends, and invite a little bit more people to groups. We hate everybody. I think that's what,
I know.
We hate everybody, but that's what the problem is. And the reason for that hatred is because we're allowing the outside environment to take, to actually make decisions for us. Well, this person likes that person. So therefore, because the social, environment says right now that's not the in thing, so you're not supposed to like them. And we need to stop that.
Yeah.
And
I am still in such like old ways that it just doesn't even bother me anymore.
Yeah.
I am the way that I am. So
there's nothing wrong. Listen, if you want to keep your group small, that's great too, because
it's better that way.
It's quality over quantity. When it comes to that. So yeah, if it's a smaller group, like at most times it is just Hannah and I. That's it. That's the extent of our audience. We're just bouncing off of each other. But if that makes us happy, that's all that I'm going to thrive for every single time we sit down together and just have those meaningful conversations and to be happy with each other. So I want to leave it at that, because we're trying to keep these short because we got to record continuously here. So we want to bang out all these episodes. I want everybody to go over to reaperapparel.com. The clothing brand. We are ambassadors for them. Reaper Apparel was started during the whole COVID crisis. The owner, out of about a depression, decided, hey, I want to live. And that's what the whole clothing line, Dying to Live, stands for. And we love that, whole backstory with this company. So if you don't mind, at least just going to reaperapparel.com, at least just checking it out. If you do see stuff you like and you purchase it, use the code Eye-Opener Society 10 and the %, and you'll get 10% off of your order. So check them out, please, reaperapparel.com. And
my birthday's coming up.
And Hannah's birthday
I'm a
is coming
size
up, size small. So there's a lot of stuff on there that she likes. So if you want to buy it, and then email us at theeyeopenersociety@gmail.com, and we'll tell you where to send it. Okay. Thank you so much.
Yes. Have a good night. Oh, day, whatever.
So take care. We'll
See ya.
talk to you on the next episode.